Greetings out of the mud audience. This is James Mayfield. This is the Greatest Mayfield Show, and I have the pleasure of having on Mr. Michael Thompson today. How you doing today?
All right, James.
All right, then. Let's go ahead and just dig off into this. Where are you from?
I'm from Flint.
Okay, then. Born and raised in Flint?
No, I was born in Mississippi
Okay, then.
and Oxford, Mississippi.
Okay, then. So when did you make it to Flint?
I was a little kid. I've been in Flint since I was almost a baby.
Okay, then. Okay, then.
Yeah,
So what neighborhood you come? You St. John or North
St.
Side?
John.
Okay, then. That's what's up. My family came from St. John.
Yeah,
So you had both parents in the family? Was it a nuclear family?
yeah. Both parents. Yeah, I had both parents. My father drove cab for a minute during time when the depression. He drove cab, and uh, and then he worked in the foundry. You know, what I'm saying, which most guys come from the south worked in the foundry during that time.
Okay, and then your mother worked, or she was just stay at home
Well,
mother.
she was a beautician. You know, what I'm saying, so
Okay, so
yeah.
so what schools did you go to? Let's go through that.
Well, I went to Central. Uh, uh, Central, I played basketball all 3 years for Central.
Okay, what position you play?
I played guard.
Okay, you was any good? Central Indians got information on you? You in the archives?
Got a lot of scholarships, you know what I'm saying, during that time.
Okay, then so you didn't decide to go to college?
No, the streets pulled me in, as soon as I got out of school, my mother, man, she was really hurt. She was really hurt from that because she felt that I was the most stupid person on earth.
For not going to.
Being talented, playing ball, and then, I remember when we were playing for money at Burston Field House, and guys used to come and get me, and we play $100 a game, and that's 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 the kind of ball I was playing. You know, when they had a game for money, they come and get me. Now I'll play with them.
Okay, then so decided to stay in the streets and not go to college. So how did that? How do
Matter
you
of
feel like?
fact, one of the guys Flint, real well known, me and Justice Thigpen, we played together and beat some guys out a few dollars.
Okay, then okay, okay. So during your time in the game in the streets, like you end up getting in trouble, you know, end up
Right,
going to the penitentiary. But before that,
right.
I remember sitting down talking to you. You were telling me some of the great things you were doing while you were in the streets. You had your own business, and you
Yeah,
said something about breaking up gangs. Can you kind of elaborate on that?
yeah. Well, I got involved in the games. The way I got involved in the games is I was reading the newspaper one day, and when I was reading the newspaper, I seen that the prosecutor was trying to get $400,000 for prosecution and conviction of young people, and I knew them young people were gonna be people of color. So I got in there and I got involved with my own money, and it took me 9 months. I broke them up, and they came to truth. And we marched all the way from Miko's Incorporated all the way down to the riverfront to the mayor. And I shook the mayor's hand. I said, "May I bring you my kids? Get them all jobs." And he did that. He got them all jobs. And we walked all the way from Carpenter Road all the way down to the riverfront.
Wow, that's great. That sounds good. So,
NAACP and everybody was with us during that time.
okay, so this Miko Incorporated. Can you elaborate a little bit on that? What was some
Yeah.
of the businesses that you brought to the community?
Well, Miko's Incorporated was a combination of several businesses. Like I had a big body shop. Also, I had a car wash. Um, uh, and also, I had another car wash on you know the car wash, the hand car wash on Carton and Saginaw Street.
Yeah.
That used to be mine.
Okay.
And so and then we had a pool hall, real plush pool hall. And then we had a big arcade. You know, everybody used to come there and play the arcade. It was real nice. Even the pastor from New Jerusalem, Reverend Floyd, he used to stop up there and play. He used to love to play the Pac-Man.
Okay. So, fast forward, all this good stuff that you did in the city of Flint. Let's fast forward to me reading or you actually telling me that you got convicted for 3 pounds of weed? Let's start there. Like,
Yeah, what happened was I really wasn't really active into the marijuana thing at that time. I was basically fading out, and what happened was I sold. Well, a friend of mine, he led me on. I didn't know that he had caught a case, and I know that he was in trouble. And what happened is when they found out, he knew me, and so I was a big fish, and so they gave him a big deal to lower me in, and so he asked me could he get him 3 pounds of marijuana for a bachelor party, and which I denied him 3 times. But look, man, you got to understand, when God play on your conscience, especially if you had your family go to his business and they do work for his car, their cars, muffler, shocks, and everything. And then he used that. He said, "Man, you mean tell me all the stuff I did for your family? You ain't gonna give me 3 pounds of marijuana?" And so I went and I said, "Okay, man, okay, I'll get you 3 pounds of marijuana." So I went and I got 3 pounds of marijuana, and the rest is history.
right. So you got convicted. So what was the sentence that you was convicted? I mean,
42 to 60 years from Judge
wow,
Fullerton.
wow.
42 to 60 years from
So
Judge Fullerton.
so what I would like to know, and I think the people would like to know, tell me how you survived all them years in the penitentiary. That's a lot of time.
Right. I survived it because I believed that one day I'm gonna be somebody gonna wake up and see what happened to me. Somebody, and 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 I knew that. I said, "Wait a minute, man." I went in prison for. You mean tell me I'm gonna stay in prison for 42 years for 3 pounds of marijuana, felony firearm? And you got to understand about Michigan and, and some other states as well. They stack the charges on you, man. You can get a marijuana charge, but they'll stack charges on you on some other stuff. You just stack them, and they make you seem like you're a real notorious drug dealer, and when when that be far from the truth.
Hmm.
And so that's what happened to me. They stacked the charges on me, and they sent me. The next thing you know, I was looking at 42 to 60 years.
Wow. So what does it take to survive 25
What do it
years
take
in?
to survive that is believing in God.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't have nobody else to turn to. You know what I'm saying? Because your family fade out on you. I mean, there's a lot of black families that fades out quick, especially when you start talking about illegal business or getting caught up in an illegal thing. Black families, is, is not with that, man.
So how important of a role did your family play in all those years that you were incarcerated?
Well, it very little because they was ashamed, man. They was embarrassed. There was a shame, but my mother died, and when my mother passed away, my home placement went with her death, cause my brother, she gave the house to my brother, and the home placement I had, my brother immediately after my mother died said that told the people that uh, I cannot stay there. I can use his address to get out, but I cannot never live there.
Hmm.
And that took me, I mean, made my knees buckle when Dee Dee Kirkwood told me about that. And she really didn't want to ask me that. She really didn't want to tell me. And when she did finally tell me, she said, "Well, your brother said you could never stay there." I said, "Wait a minute, that's my home place. It's been my home place ever since I've been in prison." And everybody understood that within the family. But after my mother passed, James, uh, he told Dee Dee that, and Dee Dee told me, and so I had to find another revenue, and the other revenue just so happened to come through prayer. And the prayer was Sean King. Sean King read about me in the magazine that a lady named Tana written. She written the same story about me in the Rolling Stones as well. And he started a GoFundMe for me. You know what I'm saying? We found out I didn't have nothing, man. I was done. And he started a GoFundMe, man. He raised almost $300,000 for me to get me a nice home and everything.
Wow, and this the Sean King guy?
Yeah, Sean King, New York.
Okay, okay. That's great. So I keep hearing this name Didi Kirkland. So you said that, and then you said at one point she was your point person.
Yeah.
How did that
Well,
become?
ain't no
Who
one
is she?
time. Ain't no one at one time. She
Well, one
still
time
is.
you told me that.
Well, she
That's what I
still
mean.
is my
Okay.
point person. You know, she still everything go through her. You know, and she's a trooper, man. She's a trooper, and she didn't come a long way. She was caught up in her own mental troubles, and I helped her get free from that by just talking to her and being understanding to what was going on with her. But now she don't deal with that no more. But the thing is, Didi Kirkwood is the one who introduced me to the Last Prisoner Project.
Okay.
The Last Prisoner Project is, and I met two ladies within the last named Sarah Garrison and Mary Belly. And the Last Prison Project, you know what I'm saying? So that these two ladies within the Last Prison Project was, man, when they come at you, when one come at you, the other one come at you. And you don't want both of them coming at you, man. You know, and during the time I was in prison, they were fighting for me, man. They were fighting for me. And now they still fighting. They still fighting for others. And
Right.
so that's the reason why that thing that September 24th, that I'm going down to New York to receive the award. That's the reason why it's so important, man, because for some reason they invested so much into this award event that it's heavy, man. And these two ladies are going to be there, and I'd love to see them again, man, because and Sean King supposed to be there as well. So everybody that helped me
Had an integral part in getting you released.
yeah,
Is gonna be there.
yeah, give me release gonna be
Okay.
there, you know, and also Cresco Lab, which will look out for me today, from day to day, from month to month. Cresco Labs, the owner Charlie, gave me his word that he was gonna be there for me, and he has. And not too many marijuana companies will do that, man. But this one, Cresco Labs, been
So
there.
Crystal Labs been looking out for you.
They've been there for
Okay.
me, man.
That's what's up.
They're making sure I'm all right. I'm all right.
And they out of here? They out of Flint or
No, they out of
Michigan?
Chicago.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
And man, and that's kind of shocking. You know, you would think people, places from Michigan would be there for me. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, right. All these ones, they popping up every time I look up. It's one on one corner, another on another. They just moving in. I had the opportunity to talk to one in the elevator one day. He didn't know how highly educated I was, and I'm not gonna say the company name, but he was like, I've been asking him about social equities. You know, I told you I had a degree in cannabis law and policy, and I'm on the elevator with him, and I knew he was coming to the building, not this one, but another building where I got an office down the street. So I did my research on him, and then found out he was coming up on that floor, and I had an elevator pitch on the 36. He's like, hey man, it's a 30. And so basically we talking, and I'm like, well, what are you gonna do for social equity? You know what I'm saying? Oh, we're gonna plant some flowers and all of this, and I'm like, plant some flowers, like here downtown. So that's just a whole nother story. So as you were saying, as they popping up, you would think that more people in Michigan itself, the city that you were incarcerated in for, will want to show love.
Right,
That's
right.
great. So is it true that you're still under the jurisdiction of the state of Michigan?
Yes, a lot of people think I'm free, but they gave me 4 years parole, man.
Right.
and I'm doing
Wow.
parole, so I'm under their jurisdiction. So I won't get off get off that until January the 28th. And when that end, I had 29 years under their jurisdiction, man. I mean, that's when I'll be free.
Hmm. So, how has society changed since you remembered it from going in to coming out? Did you have any culture shocks coming out from
Well,
going in?
yeah, because you gotta understand, I haven't seen a computer because they kept telling me that I had to be 2 years from my out date before I can get in a computer class and or anything like that. So I ain't seen a telephone, computer, or anything. Then because they kept me away from using that same thing. No, you got to be 2 years from your out date and all that kind of stuff. But uh, man, it's sad that when I walked out of prison, I was so ignorant to everything. And I hate to use that word, but that's where I felt. And little kids was knowing more than I did. I mean, I'm looking at these little kids, man, knowing stuff, man. Then they showing me some stuff. I'm looking at them, what the heck? Man, these little kids, man. And they kept me away from this, man. And now I see why. Now I see why they didn't want me in no computer class. I see why they kept me so far behind. And and now that I'm out here, man, that's what everything's all about. Everything's about computers. Everything is about telephones, and even your car talk to you and all that kind of stuff, man. You know that thing was mind blowing to me, man. I couldn't. It blew my mind,
Mm.
man. And you know, it's great that the technology done moved up so much. But the thing is, you gotta understand, people coming out of prison and spending time that I spend in there, man, you gotta get them some help, man. You gotta get them a chance to, know, do something. You know what I'm saying? Learn something. You just don't let them out of prison just like you did me and just
Throw them out there. Just figure it out.
welcome home, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the world.
No soft skills. No preparation. No nothing.
No, they wouldn't let me do none of that, man. They first when I first went in, Department of Correction put organized crime on me, man. If you got organized crime on you, you can't get no good job in there. You can't go to certain prisons. You can't do nothing, man. They isolate you.
Hmm. So
But it took them 5 years. It took me 5 years to get that off me, man. Because they never should have put that on me in the first place.
right, right. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate the criminal justice system in Flint? We can't say in a whole. We just say in Flint because it's bigger than that. It's bigger than us. But scale of 1 to 10, what you rate it?
I was ready to criminal justice system. Well, they're getting better judges than when I remember. They're getting much better judges because they had Freeman, they had Fullerton, they had some of them others I ain't gonna name, but anyway, it's getting better. You know what I'm saying, as far as the judges is concerned. But man, Flint been so far behind. Uh, the only rating I can give them right today would be a 4.
Okay. So what made you first create the Michael Thompson Clemency Project, and who does it benefit?
The Michael Thompson Clemency Project is geared towards people that are dealing with trap sentences and also marijuana sentences because marijuana sentences shouldn't be going on right now. Everybody that's in prison for marijuana should be released. I mean, it's legal now. You know what I'm saying? So why do you have people still in prison for marijuana? Who had marijuana killed? You know what I'm saying? For you to keep people in prison all these years. Okay, but these trap centers, when I use the word trap centers, that means that people that's dealing with habitual offender, the Habitual Offenders Act, felony murder, and you got people like Horace Peterson. Uh, you know, you heard the Dayton family. They wrote a song about him and all that. One of them is that's their nephew. That's their uncle. But anyway, Horace.
Gemini.
Okay, I don't know him. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Okay, but anyway, Horace. I know Horace though, but Horace. He done got 50-something years in, man, and he didn't kill nobody. He didn't have a gun, and he had no intentions of going there and kill nobody. But you can't stop another person that's trigger happy going there, and he did have a gun. He had intentions of killing them. You can't stop nobody. He can't police nobody, and he doing the same thing the other guy doing, robbing, but he didn't have no gun. Okay, and then you've got people like Philo Hunt, you know what I'm saying? They got almost 60 years in, man. 60 years in. And he didn't kill nobody, but because his brother, because he went telling his brother, he got all that time. And now his brother, was named Peanut, he's out of Detroit. And his brother died, you know what I'm saying? But Philo's still in there. Philo didn't have anything. So Michael Clemency got his name up on the governor's desk to try to get a clemency done. He's one of them. Horace Peterson is another one. Leroy Washington is another one. Leroy Washington, he almost got his doctor's degree. His family paid for it and everything. So I would ask your listeners, if a man gonna spend all that money, his family spend all that money, and he gonna take the initiative to go to school like that for a doctor's degree, who would he be a danger to in society? He's not the same person when he went in 30 years ago. So who would he be dangerous to?
Well, it sounds like to me he would add value to the community.
There you go. And
that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, and so he's that's one of many others that we're fighting for. And so that's what I mean when I said trap centers. Habitual offender, I was up on there, and they stacked the charges. Like I told you, they stacked the charges on you, and they stacked the charges on me. So look at me. You know what I'm saying? You had me in prison for 42 to 60 years. What if I didn't had the help? What if I didn't have the Kim Kardashians, the Snoop Doggy Dogg, the Wiz Khalifa, Montel Williams, Chelsea Hanno? What if I didn't have that team of lawyers and the lawyer Kim got for me, Kim Carell out of Ohio, and where would I be at if I didn't have the people like Mary Bailey and Sarah Garrison of the Last Prisoner Project, and then where would I be today if I didn't have the help Cresco Labs, the owner Charlie, who stuck to his word for me, and he haven't left me yet.
So we all know, and it takes a lot of money to run this project and this clemency. So how are you surviving? Just Crisco Labs and what grants or what's going on?
Well, right now we hurting.
Okay.
The Michael Thompson Clemency Project is hurting. That's why we can't accept no more people, because we don't have the money right now. We don't have the grants like other people got all these grants, and they ain't doing nothing with them.
So with the viewers or the people that's watching or might see this, what do you need to help you? I mean, like, do you need a grant writer? Do you need people to sponsor? Do you need people to donate? What does the project need?
We need money.
Okay.
Wherever you want to put
Wherever you want to get it from.
Where you want, but we need money, because what I'm doing takes money. Just like Hill Harper said, what Michael Thompson is doing takes money, and people that understands that that's all they need to know. And then just like my slogan on my caps I gave you and the shirt, all you got to do is care. If a person really cares, man, they know what it takes. You know what I'm saying, for a person to keep fighting for people like the type of people I'm fighting for. They know what it is, man. You know.
Okay, so since you've been out, oh yeah, I wanted to ask you about this. I think you might have told me or someone else told me. So rewinding a little bit, George Floyd. I'm sure you heard of his name. What is your opinion about what happened to him?
George Floyd.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that, James, because I want to tell you something that America don't really know about Michigan. Michigan was the only place that a person inside the prison threw tribute to George Floyd
Hmm.
the way I did. And who sponsored that the way I did inside the prison for George Floyd? Who sponsored that was a lady named Dee Dee Kirkwood.
Okay.
Dee Dee sponsored that thing, and I executed it from inside the prison. And I got all them guys, all kind of food, big bagel sandwich, all kind of stuff, pops. Some guys they hadn't had a pop in 30 years.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We got all pops and we got everything. And all I asked them guys to do, I said, look, man, y'all take your food, your pop and everything, you take everything back. Go back to your cell and stand there with your head down. How long it took for them to kill George Floyd.
Hmm.
I said, I want you to do that if you got any love for me, any love for what I've done for you guys, do that for me. And that's what they did, man. They went back to their cell and they stood for how many seconds, minutes it was for them to kill George Floyd. And a lot of people don't know it, but you don't hear about it. But this is well documented. I forgot, you got to get with Dee Dee on it. You know what I'm saying? There was a big taping about this thing, and they did a hell of a thing on it. And you got to go to Dee Dee Kirkwood. She can tell you what it is, and it's on YouTube.
Okay.
And just ask Dee Dee, and she can tell you what it is.
Okay. So I hear that there was a documentary that was called "The Sins of Michael Thompson." So can we talk about that? Where can
Yeah.
people find that? And let's kind of talk about a little bit of how that took place. And
Well, the sentence of Michael Thompson is on YouTube,
okay.
And it did well all over the United States, all over. I've been traveling all over. I felt like a bird. I was flying so much, you know, and this piece, the Michael Thompson sentencing was up for an Oscar and an Emmy.
Mm.
And a lot of people from Michigan don't even know that there's a guy's documentary that was up for Oscar and an Emmy.
Mm.
But one thing about when I went to Princeton University giving me an award with a lady named Governor Brown out of Oregon. They gave me an award, man, because the documentary was so touching, man. It was so touching. Did you ever see it, James?
Yeah, I got a chance to glance at it. So with my question is, you say it did so good. So were there any proceeds or money made off of it? And if it was money made off of it,
I didn't get none.
wow.
It was, I didn't get none. And the Michael Thompson Clemens didn't get none.
Wow. So you've been out, you've been seeing what's been going on, and how do you feel about the state of the youth here in Flint? Like the people you talk to, what you look at, like what is the state? How do you feel about that? What is your opinion of the youth today? The young youth.
I feel that they are definitely dealing with some problems, and it don't seem like nobody cares. It seems like so many people turn their head to it than really trying to help them. And a lot of these young boys, there's some help out there for them, but a lot of them, it seems like they don't want it. And there's a lot of stuff going on with the pills and all that kind of stuff going on. Undercover, you know what I'm saying, and all that stuff. And the young kids is getting caught up in things before they can even get themselves a chance to be a kid. And the first thing they do is pick up what they call muscle, and that's a gun. This is their muscle. This is what makes them a man, not working or trying to do something great, just to show that they're a man. To the young girls that's dressing half naked now, and which is not no good picture, and it seems like it's all over. It's all on the internet. It's everywhere. It seems like this country is lost, man. The people in this country is getting lost. Because years ago, wouldn't nobody let their child come out dressed like some of the young girls being dressed today, man. No way that you could get somebody to let their kid come out dressed like some of the young girls today. And the young boys, they call the slick word sagging. Man, how in the hell you gonna be sagging, showing your dirty ass drawers?
Is it true that some people say that sagging in the aspect of people coming from the penitentiary was like a sign to show that another man that you ready, you know what I'm trying to say? Is that true?
Well, first of all, them ass bandits, what they call them inside the prison, ass bandits. That wouldn't be no good picture for you to do because they would look at you like a woman.
Okay.
And these guys walking around here sagging and showing it. I can tell they never been to prison. Cause if they did, they'll pull that stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like I said, it's all over the internet. It's all on all the different things, those slick shows and all that kind of stuff. And these kids are getting lost. You know, they're showing all this gangster shit on TV that most of them guys that's rapping don't have nothing to do with. It just sound good on tape. But my thing is, I wish that more kids would concentrate on going to college, just like you did, James. And you're a young guy. You shocked me when you told me your education that you had. And I was looking at it, oh, okay. But you can't judge a book by its cover.
No, you definitely can't.
And so when you told me that, and I'm looking at it, if more people just, okay, whatever you want to do in life, get your education first, and then let's see how you would turn out. No, but if you don't get no education, then you just going out here learning from the TV. You know what I'm saying? Boy, you might end up anywhere.
Yeah. I'm far removed from, streets and what I did. 8 years ago is when I decided to turn my life around because it was like the risk started outweighing the reward. Then I had a federal case and I was just dealing with stuff and I'm like, you know what, I need to do something different. So within 8 years, I amassed all the education because it was like I needed to do something different. And instead of me staying where I was at, I decided to change. And it was one of the best things I could ever did because I actually got more now than I had then. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, you had money, then you broke, you had money. It's just a vicious cycle. So that's just pretty much what did it for me. So what I like to ask a lot of people when I interview them, and I usually ask them on the mayoral level, but you bigger than this, you bigger than them. So Michael Thompson, running for governor, hypothetically speaking, you win. what are about 2 or 3 things that you would do while you're in office? What would you send to the Senate to get done? Just maybe 2 or 3 of them.
Well, for one, that terrorist bill.
Okay. Now,
I
what
hope
is that
that
for the
terrorist
people who don't
bill
know?
is what they did for the terrorists, supposed to been for the terrorists, but the only ones who suffered is people of color. Uh, and the terrorist bill is there's guys in prison right now that's in underneath that terrorist bill. Uh, Bill Clinton signed that, you know, and the terrorists they didn't do nothing to the terrorists. All they did was laugh and wag their tail back to where they came. You know what I'm saying? They were wagging their tail. But the ones who really suffering is right now. They the appeal of right. A lot of guys can't appeal their sentence to the day they die. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get 3 appeals, and that's it because of that terrorist bill. That's one of them I would do. And the other thing I would do, man, is change uh, the way the justice system is structured up. You know, as far as uh, young people, uh, they're mixing young people up with grown-ups, man, and these young boys ain't standing a chance inside that prison system. You can't mix a child with a man, especially a man that looks at a young boy like a boy. They call them boys. They look at him like a boy, and as soon as they walk in, they become a target.
Hmm.
Okay, that's another thing. The other thing is they got to lean towards, uh, just like you, James, got to lean towards educating, provide more of a education uh, for young people, you know, that made a mistake, man. Give them a chance to correct themselves.
Okay. So, what is your opinion of the legal system and politicians today when it comes to marijuana?
I believe that I believe that they faking the funk because they could uh, you know, they need to let them marijuana companies open them banks up, man, for them marijuana companies, man, for they can help people like myself. Let a marijuana, you know, the damage was done through marijuana that caused me it caused me my life. So get them the banks that they can open them banks up for they can help people like myself. You know what I'm saying? And then help me build from that. You know what I'm saying? A person can build from marijuana money, man. You know, if you open them banks up to them. You know more about it than I do, James, because that's what you're all about. You know, you studied that. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
not
saying?
only the banks, the 1080 tax code, being able to utilize that, and the only way that'll really be done is them descheduling marijuana and actually admitting that marijuana has medical benefits and not to be scheduled a 1, maybe a 3, and it'll be like the
I thought they
prohibition of
did move
alcohol.
it back to the 3. I thought they.
No, they haven't did that. They had talks about it. They haven't did that yet because then when they do that, it'll be federal. See, it's still federally illegal, right? On the feds don't respect it. The Mirandas, the cold Mirandas and all, they don't respect marijuana. It's still scheduled as a 1. They
Oh,
just
I didn't
left
know
it
that.
up to the states to decide what they want to do. And different states had uh, adopted marijuana being legal in their
Man,
states. So once they get now, Biden talked about it. They had some stuff that went through to some meetings and people talked about it, but they haven't actually pulled the trigger on it yet. So once they get deschedulized, it'll be federally legal then. And once it's federally legal, people will be see the 1080 tax code is a tax code that we use for businesses. So it's tax breaks that we get as Americans and businesses, but marijuana companies don't get them. And not only do they don't get them, they get taxed on the state level, the federal
no.
level, and then it's kind of hard to really look at it when I look at it sometimes. I think, will I ever see it in my lifetime? Because guess what, the federal government is still getting money and getting taxes from the states, and it's still federally illegal. So it makes me think, why would they want to make it legal and then cut their bank book, because they still getting taxes off of it. So
It's all political then.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, and it's all a money grab.
Yeah.
So it's like, I would love to see it. They have talks about it, but when has the government ever wanted to cut in they profit of what they taking from us as citizens? Because they getting paid, right? And it's crazy because it's federally illegal,
Wow.
but they're still taking taxes
That's deep, man.
from people. Yeah, it's deep when you really think about it. So it's kind of like a.
I'm glad you said that, man, because that's something a person need to really get into, because that's something that could be changed quickly. I mean, not that really that easy, because don't nobody it's like you said, the federal government, when they start getting money, it's hard to get it out their hands. You know what I'm saying?
So the only way it can really be changed is like they did. They started testing marijuana. They started testing, and they doing it like they do everything. Like they run a drug through to make sure it has medical healing. So they're in the middle of doing tests like that. And once the drug administration say that, okay, bam, this has benefits of health properties or it heals people, then they can take that to the government and say, okay, this is what we found. This is what we found.
Who doing the testing again? What was the name of the company that's doing that?
What you mean the testing?
The testing for the marijuana, medical marijuana thing.
Oh, I'm not sure who's doing it around here in Michigan. It's been a while since I actually, dug back into that. I'm kind of a year and a half from getting my degree, so it's kind of like everything changes, you know what I'm saying, with policies and updates. So I'm not sure what labs testing and all that. What I'm saying is that the Drug Administration for the United States of America is testing it now on human beings to see if it has medical compounds that heal people. And once they get enough research and data from that to show that, yeah, this is actually a herb that heals people,
right.
Then that's when they would enact it and put it on the desk, and then whoever the sitting president and the Senate can vote on it, and then we'll deschedule it. But just like the prohibition of alcohol, they deschedule alcohol, but it still was ramifications and laws still around it, but they made it legal. But they made it legal where they can make money. You see what I'm saying? Just like the big boys ain't even got in the game yet. Like we got the Marbles, we got the Newports. They didn't get in the game yet. They still growing their tobacco because it's federally legal. But the minute it go from 1 to 3, oh, it's gonna be in cigarette packs. It's gonna be in the store. It's gonna be, it's gonna be in vending machines. And my thing is, I thought about putting a board together. I had thoughts of it because I feel like us as people, once it's deschedulized, if everybody is in the right position, let's say all 3 of us sitting in this room, and let's say we all got ideas to enter into the cannabis industry some type of way when it's federally legal, where you can put the money in the bank, where you can get the tax break. Like you might believe in computer. You talked about computer, so what we gonna need, people gonna have to be able to design websites, do stuff computer.
Right.
He might believe in accounting.
Yeah.
They're gonna need an accountant to keep their money together. I might believe in management or some type of labor laws or something, so I might want to get off into that. So if everybody's in a position, like right now, they pay $20 up north for people to trim weed per hour. A lot of people don't know that. Even the art of being able to grow cannabis or have people come in and take care of your crops and help you top and all them things. If things like that can be initiated right now before it goes into legally, we can get. We got a lot of kids that ain't got to fight for the position to be a doctor, a lawyer, a football player, a basketball player. They ain't got to do all of that, because I believe if they ever do it in our lifetime, I'm a little younger than you, and deschedule it, that might be our gross GDP. If not one, it's going to be in the top 3 once they legalize that. Because you see it now. They're popping up everywhere. They're making money off of it. The state everybody making, all the municipalities making money off of it. So I have thoughts, and I didn't play with that. That's just on my on things I think about cannabis.
I just look at it that that right there. The only thing, it's gonna take a team, to get it done. And that's one thing I like about Last Prisoner Project, what they doing. That's what I like about Cresco Lab, what they doing. And see, these are the organizations I know, and marijuana companies I know that's, that's trying to make that change. You know what I'm saying? Especially that bank thing. You know what I'm saying? I know uh, for a fact that those particular marijuana companies are really fighting hard for that, man. And see, my thing is, I didn't come so far, man. I didn't come so far that I'm just catching up with a lot of things. I'm just that's come because I come from the gutter. When you start dealing with prison life in 25 years, let me tell you something, James. Let me speak for a minute. I'm not speaking off the record right now. Speaking
So
to
you
your
want me to push in? You
no
want me?
no no
Okay,
no
okay.
no. But I just want to speak to you. I want to speak to your listeners. See, because it's so much. It's so much, man. In my life, where I come from, man. When you start talking about prison life, I'm looking at it. When people start talking about 25 years, James, don't you know that I stopped my visits? I hadn't seen no one for 20 years. 'Cause I wouldn't take no visits no more, man. They
Mm.
thought I was crazy. They thought I was losing my mind, so they sent me to a psychiatrist. They had a psychiatrist come and see me, and the psychiatrist said, "Well, ain't nothing wrong with him. He got his values and principles in order." And so, but the thing is, they thought I was crazy because I refused to visit because I hated the way they searched my family and the way they did people when they come up there to visit me. And so I said, I don't want no visits no more. See, but the thing is, what I went through, man, to even get to this point. But I went through, I had to wash my clothes in a toilet stool for several years, man. Just think about it. Try washing your clothes in a toilet stool with a bucket. Just somebody just try to do that, man. Just do it. Wash your clothes in a toilet stool with a bucket. And see how hard that is, man. And I flush, rinse, flush. I got so good with it, man. I ain't look for no washing machine no more. But the first thing I did when I got my freedom and got out of prison, man, was I got me a washing machine and a dryer. Man, I love a washing machine and a dryer. I looked at it and patted every day, man, because I know what I went through. And I know I'm a true person that got appreciation of a washing machine and dryer, man. I don't care what nobody say. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if a person don't understand, if you ain't got no washing machine and dryer, you know what I'm saying? Your ass out, man. And don't you know, me washing the clothes I had to do inside there. What about my back, man? I mean, it's just so much you go through, man. So, James, I want to say this, man, to your listeners, man. Prison is a very, very ugly place. Very ugly, ugly place. Prison is a very lonely place. If your family abandon you, man, it's nothing like being abandoned from while you're in prison. And you got to be strong, man. A lot of these young guys are not strong anymore. They're not strong. They popping these pills and they getting freaky than a bald head frog. And I just want to say this, James. I want to tell you that family is very important when you're in prison like that. Family is very important. But when you lose your family through all the years, you'd be surprised what doing a lot of years does to a family, man. Some families can deal with it, but most black families can't. And I'm telling you that I didn't join no groups. I didn't join no religion. I did mine the way I wanted to, not with groups and gangs and joining different things. I wasn't looking to join nothing. I said from the very beginning, my name was Miko. My name is not Chico. And I'm going to be a man. The man I walked in is the man I'm going to walk out with. The same name, no changes. So I just want to let you know, I just want to let you know that everybody can't do that.
But that's what's up. So I like to pride myself on the Greatest Mayfield show for doing some exceptional interviews. But before we get up out of here today, is there anything that more that you want to say that you might have not said on somebody else's podcast, or something I might have not touched today, to just kind of give you a second to kind of think about it and brainstorm and, and get that out for the viewers before we get up out of here?
Well, just like I used to tell guys, I used to have a little group session inside the prison. And I used to tell guys, I used to speak about honor. I used to speak about loyalty. And I used to speak about these young guys, the way they talking to the young girls now, the names they calling these young girls. And I used to tell them, and this is something important I want your listeners to hear. I used to tell them, all these names you calling these young girls, and this supposed to be your woman. You calling all them names, so whatever this woman is, you supposed to be the teacher. And you supposed to be the teacher, so whatever you call it, if you call her a free fucking hoe or you call her a bitch, that's what you is. You a free fucking hoe and you a bitch. Because that's the woman that you supposed to care about and you supposed to love, and you supposed to be the teacher. And the other thing is, I used to tell guys, you join. Let me tell you this little story, and I'm finna end it. I just want to tell you this. This is deep, man.
Go ahead.
You know, there's it was this little boy. He used to be an A student, and he got in trouble, and so he got sent to prison. But he was living, before he went to prison, he was living underneath the bridge. He was homeless, and he was living underneath the bridge. But he went to prison, and then, so, in prison, they dress you out the same, they wash you off and everything, you put the same clothes, everybody got the same clothes on. So now this A student is back now he in prison, but he was a bum in the street. He was a dope fiend in the street. But he comes in there and they wash him off, and then he looks like everybody else, but he profound. You got to remember, he used to be an A student. Now he can read better than most of them guys and everything, because now the A student then came back, and surfaced back. So the only thing you got to do to learn, know how to do, is read real good, comprehend real good, and then you can be a leader of a group. You can call orders. You can give orders. Somebody to get hurt. And now you got to realize, this guy was a dope fiend and a bum. But because he profound in reading and writing and everything, now they made him a leader. They made him a leader. Now he's a leader of whatever group. But ain't giving orders. And I want to sum this up with this. And that's how crazy it is. Because the only one can give orders in this life is the ones who earned their stripes. You can't go in the military or nowhere and have nobody give you orders and you ain't earned no stripes, man. And that's what a lot of the young guys is doing now. They following people that haven't earned their stripes, man. And they smarter than the ones that are giving them the orders to do this dumb stuff. And so I'm just asking the young people to wake up. That's all.
Cool, that's profound. So we appreciate you coming out today, man. Magnificent interview, man. We touched a lot of great things. You had a lot of wisdom. You even told our audience a lot of great things. So in closing, um, how can they find you? How can the people who want to help or want to help with the project? Where are you located? How can they find you?
They can go the Michael Thompson Clemency.
Okay.
Michael Thompson Clemency, and they'll show everything.
Okay. Cool.
And then they can go on YouTube. They got everything available for them there on YouTube as well.
Cool. So I appreciate you coming out, man, and thanks again, man.
Yeah, that's love from both ends.
My man.
And I wish you the best.